Hi guys. I put out a post earlier on Instagram to say how sexy I look. I know,
Did
I
you?
really don't know. About doing a Q&A with Howie, and he's been out for dinner with work tonight, and I figured while he's had a few drinks, I would grab him strike while the iron's hot, because I've asked him in the past to do this. I know it sounded a bit rude. And he said, no, I'm not doing a video, even though he does lots of presenting at work and he's not embarrassed about that. But I think because this is my YouTube. Anyway, I'm just going to start. Okay, Howie, say hi.
Okay.
This is my husband. This
Leon.
is Howie. Oh, he said we're
Leon.
like June, not June and Leon off of Gogglebox. I don't know. I actually think her hair looks a lot better than mine does right now with this regrowth. Anyway, I'm going to ask a couple of questions. And please try and be a little bit serious.
Okay.
A little bit serious. But you don't have to...
Okay.
Anyway, I'm not going to tell you how to answer because I'm not controlling or anything, am I?
Not really.
Okay. How is life different for you since Jan had her operation?
I've got now a wife who's far more confident that if I'm going out with work and it's a dinner that I can take Jan out with me, she now says yes rather than makes up excuses and said, oh, I'm a bit tired, or I haven't done my hair, or I haven't got anything to wear. She now says, yes, that'll be great. And we go out. And so it's very different, more confident in herself, more happy in herself person.
Yay, this is very true. Thank you for that question, Dawn. That was from Dawn. Claire. Claire was the next person to ask questions. There's quite a few in this one question. You ready? Has Howie noticed changes in you that he wasn't expecting?
Yes, I wasn't expecting Jan to start wearing my clothes. That was a big shock.
That's a good NSB for me, though.
It started off with my pyjama bottoms, and
boxer
then
shorts.
before I knew it, it was my raincoat. And she even wore one of my caps to go walking at the weekend. So
Yeah, but I didn't
yes,
have... Yeah, I did. I was going to say I didn't have a fat head, but I did.
I really wasn't expecting that to happen.
Has me having a gastric bypass changed our relationship, do you think?
I think we have a bit more, or you have a bit more energy now. When we go walking, so Jan didn't walk a lot before. Now Jan walks miles. I don't walk miles. But when we do walk, Jan always used to complain that my legs are longer than hers.
It's true.
So she had to run to keep up. And now I have to
You
run
were trying to lose me
to
all
keep
the
up with
time.
her.
It's true, actually, and now we walk at similar
Same
paces.
place.
Yeah, that's true. So this is a question I find hard to say about myself. So it says, with Jan having a following on Insta and YouTube, do you ever find that it impacts on our life, and would you change it?
No. So Jan's got a following on YouTube and Insta, and through that following, but I've met some really good friends as well, and it's fantastic. And actually, the support Jan gets through YouTube is more support than I can give, and I do give her a lot of support.
You
but
do.
I think she gets support in ways that I could never give.
And
So-
you're right. You are right.
So and to be perfectly honest, it takes a lot of heat off me. So thank you.
Correct. That was from Claire, obviously. This is from M Down the Rabbit Hole. What does Howie do for a living? Because it looks like he can remote from home or Aggie. She's just curious.
I'm a chartered engineer, so I have a team that's actually based all around the world. So if I'm in the office, I'm on the phone a lot, so I can also be at home on the phone a lot. So
I hate him at
I
home
can
at
kind
work,
of be
though.
anywhere.
If you followed me
Jan
for a
loves me
while,
at
I
home
hate
working.
him working from home, but I'm really glad we got Aggie now. He can go out there and do his phone calls. I don't like being quiet and tippy-toeing around. Okay, another question from M Down the Rabbit Hole. If Jan had a bypass last year to improve her life, what would Howie gift himself this year to improve what?
Well, it's a good one. So we spent some money on Jan last year for her operation, and it's improved her life, and she's a lot faster now. She can walk, she can run, she does lots of exercise. So I'm going to do something similar this year now. I want to be a bit faster and a bit more energetic.
I know what
So
you're gonna say.
I'm going to gift myself a new car,
Yay! Which comes soon.
which comes next month.
He's got a new baby coming. Good thinking. I'll gift that to you,
Thank
darling.
you.
I've worked hard for you to get that car. Okay. Can Howie name 3 positives and 3 negatives to having bariatric surgery from a husband's point of view, obviously?
A happier, more confident wife that's really, really very assured and loves herself more and is, I say fun to be with. She was always fun to be with, but I think we share a lot more outside life together.
We do.
She'll put herself out a lot more than she used to. I've got someone that I can take to dinners, to events, that actually enjoys now being out the house, whereas before she kind of stayed in the house a lot. And I suppose a bit sad, we had a whole experience in 8 years in Asia where Jan stayed in more, or stayed in her own shell. But now we're back in England, she really is coming out of her shell, which is great. So they're the positives. The negatives, well, the first thing I already said, she steals my clothes now.
That's a positive for me, anyway.
And, I sometimes look for my coat and I find it Jan's side of the bed. The
negative.
Jan sometimes forgets that she's had bariatric surgery and will gulp down a glass of squash because she's thirsty. We've been out somewhere.
I've done that today a lot, actually.
And it doubles up in pain and she kicks herself because she always forgets, but it seems to be a sort of a habit that she can't break.
And it's an instant pain. It's yeah.
And I suppose the final one that's the negative that all of you who've had or thinking of having bariatric surgery, that Jan can actually fart better than me now.
I thought you were going to say that.
Some mornings I'll be down making the coffee and I think we've had an earthquake upstairs. Apparently
I'm not that bad, honestly.
It's something that only bariatric patients can understand.
It's like unicorn glitters or something. It's like, it's not that bad. Don't listen to him, really. Thank you, Howie. I mean, I thought I'd get this. Like I said, I thought I'd strike while the iron's hot because you've just come back from a lunch. Oh, hang on. There's another one. I thought we'd done, but I've got more. What types of encouragement can you give to other people's significant others about supporting your wife, Jan, through her weight loss journey?
I think, well, if it's really what your wife wants to do, and I suppose more and more that I've seen the change in Jan, that I just, I'm encouraged because Jan, as I said, it's changing Jan to be a happier person, and she was happy before, but a happier person in a way that I hadn't really expected. I would encourage that anyone thinking bariatric surgery gets involved in a group, because you do need the support of people who are going through it. So I can support Jan, but I don't know what she's going through physically, mentally. Only, I can be there to support.
But your encouragement, from my point of view, has always been, it's always been absolutely necessary, almost on a daily basis. You've told me how you can see the changes in my body.
Yes.
Not only my farting, but
Apart from
not
that.
only, you literally will go, oh my God, Jan, you've changed shape again, or you're always complimenting me constantly, and that makes a big difference, because that's somebody that you live with that's seeing the changes in you and enjoying the changes, I suppose. Good question. Thank you, D. Martin, Melissa.
I do think sometimes, though, Jan's farting herself in. I think she was just...
That's better than shitting yourself
full
in,
of air,
I guess.
and it's escaping every day.
D. Martin, Melissa also asked, have you fallen in love with her all over again at each stage?
I don't think my love for Jan has changed, to be perfectly honest.
Right answer, Mr. Silver. Right answer.
What's been lovely, though, is to see how Jan's loving herself more at each stage.
True that. True that. What's one thing you've always wished you could do together and now you can, that you couldn't do before surgery and now you can, and were you afraid to ever tell her?
I can walk at my normal pace with long legs, and Jan doesn't whinge and say, slow down.
That's true, actually.
What else do
Were
we
you
do
ever
together?
afraid? Were you ever afraid to tell me that?
Go out and enjoy life.
True. Was there
Outside the
anything you were
house.
ever afraid to say to me though when I was a bit of a trouble?
Nothing that I'm not still afraid to say to you.
Thank you, Howie. That's really a spot on time
Cheers.
look because I can't do much more. But thank you. I'm really glad I managed to get my husband on here. I'm going to watch it back now. Whether he lets me post it or not, we'll see. But thank you for the great questions. If there's more, it might mean he'll have to do a take 2 if I get more questions by tomorrow. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you for the questions. See you again. Bye.